up, everyone? Welcome to the episode 4 recap of The Amazing Race Season 24. The start of the fourth leg begins with Dave and Connor departing at 9:06 a.m. where they have to head to the Prince Philip Park. Jet and Cord leave 2 minutes behind Dave and Connor, while Leo and Jamal are 8 minutes behind first place. Jet and Cord get to the park before Dave and Connor. What a surprise. The roadblock is called Leaps and Bounds. They have to jump on a bamboo trampoline and have to get high enough to grab a flag that is hanging from the ceiling. Cord took 47 jumps to get to the flag. Yeah, 47. Connor got it on his first jump and Leo got it rather quick. Dave and Connor now head to the airport, where they now head to Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. There are only 3 spots available on the first flight, which of course Dave and Connor are on, along with the Afghanimals and the Cowboys. Margie and Luke are the next team to head to the roadblock. Luke is doing the roadblock and he gets the flag quickly. Flight Time and Big Easy are the next team to take off, and of course Big Easy is going to do the roadblock and he gets it within the first few tries. The race is a little more spread out in this leg, as each team that gets to the roadblock ends up finishing the challenge before the next team arrives. Margie and Luke and the Globetrotters are on the second flight, which is an hour and a half behind the first flight. The Country Singers are the first team to get on the third flight, which is 45 minutes behind the second flight. Jessica was having trouble with the roadblock and she had to take a break to wrap her foot because there were blisters all over her foot. God, she must be in pain. The good news is, the first jump back from wrapping her foot, she got it. Rachel did the roadblock and she was having trouble at first because she was wearing pantyhose. So she took them off and bam, she got the flag. The second flight got delayed by 50 minutes. So as Flight Time put it, the second flight is now the third flight, but it's only a difference of 5 minutes. The teams on the first flight are now headed to the Petronas Towers. So apparently the nightlife in the capital is off the hook. In the detour, you either become a DJ or a bartender. If you are a DJ, you basically have to mix a few songs, and if you decide to be a bartender, you basically have a bunch of cups lined up with 2 flavors alternating in each cup, and then you have to pour the drinks without mixing in 7 martini glasses. Do you follow me? All the teams decide to become bartenders. While teams are trying to get the drinks lined up, the second flight and third flight arrive and teams find some vans to share. Now all the teams are at the club. The Afghanimals decided to switch and they decided to try the DJ challenge. But when they were heading to that challenge, the Cowboys completed the task. Seriously, I don't know how the Cowboys haven't won the Amazing Race before. They are now headed to the Batu Caves, which is the pit stop for this leg of the race. Dave and Connor are right behind them. Rachel keeps saying that the bartender challenge won't take too long because she used to be a cocktail waitress. Yeah, I don't think you did things like this when you were a cocktail waitress. John and Jessica, the Country Singers, the Globetrotters, and the Afghanimals are working on the DJ challenge, while the other teams are working on the bartender challenge. The Globetrotters are the first team to try in front of the crowd, but they don't get it right. The Afghanimals are next, and they get it on their first try, and they are now headed to the pit stop. The winners of the fourth leg are the Cowboys, and they have won a trip to London. Dave and Connor finished second, and the Afghanimals finished third. The Globetrotters went up for a second time in the DJ challenge, but they still didn't get it. Next up was Jessica and John, but they also didn't get it. Rachel's cocktail waitress experience hasn't done anything for her and Brendan in the bartending challenge. But then again, Brendan was doing the challenge himself. The Country Singers were the first team on the last 2 flights to complete the DJ challenge, followed by Jessica and John. I gotta say, it was super annoying when they kept cutting to the DJ at the club. He was basically doing the same move every time the camera was on him. Anyway, the Globetrotters were the next team to complete the DJ challenge, and there are now only 2 teams left. Brendan and Rachel, and Margie and Luke. So, who completed the task first? Well, Luke was getting extremely irritated with the challenge, and it got to a point where Margie asked Brendan and Rachel if they both wanted to take the time penalty, but Rachel said no. Unfortunately, it might have been better if Rachel said yes. Margie and Luke completed the task before Brenchel, but before we get to the end, the Country Singers finished 4th, Jessica and John finished 5th, the Globetrotters finished 6th, and Margie and Luke finished 7th. It took Brenchel 3 hours and 12 minutes to complete the challenge. To put that into perspective, there was no one at the club and the DJ was smoking off in the corner. Well, Brennan and Rachel are the last team to arrive at the pit stop. But guess what? It's a non-elimination race. Booyah! There you have it. That's your episode 4 recap of The Amazing Race Season 24. On next week's episode, the only thing that matters is that Brennan and Rachel risk a connecting flight that is 30 minutes apart. Will they be able to make the connecting flight? Find out on next week's recap. If you liked my recap, please hit the thumbs up below. If you got something to say, let me know down below. And as usual, don't forget to subscribe.